Someone noticed the way you wear clothes, and what they are saying will shock you. My beloved child, pause for a moment and feel the air around you shift, because something subtle yet powerful has already happened. Someone noticed the way you wear your clothes, not casually, not accidentally, but with a level of attention that most people never realize exists. It wasn't about fashion trends or labels or money. It was about the silent message your presence sends before you ever speak. The way fabric rests on your shoulders, the choices you repeat without thinking, the colors you return to when your heart is quiet, these details have been read like a letter. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with understanding that you have been communicating more than you ever intended. Listen carefully, because what they are saying is not what you expect. They didn't see weakness. They didn't see confusion. They saw intention hiding inside simplicity. They noticed how you dress when no one is watching, and they understood something important about your journey. Every fold, every layer, every repeated choice revealed resilience, patience, and a story that refuses to be loud but demands to be felt. This is why their words are shocking, because they realized you are not dressing for the world you're in, but for the world you are moving toward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's closer than you think. Now let this settle, because the next part changes everything. The person who noticed you is not judging, they are recognizing. They see that your clothing is a signal, a quiet declaration that you are preparing for a shift. They said your style carries the energy of someone about to step into alignment, someone who has endured unseen pressure and chosen calm over chaos. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Stay till the end, because the truth behind their words connects directly to what is about to unfold in your life. Something huge is waiting for you, and this moment is the doorway. My beloved child, now the atmosphere deepens, because what was first noticed has already started a quiet conversation behind your back. Words were exchanged in lowered voices, not out of gossip, but out of disbelief. They said your way of dressing carries restraint, like someone who has learned the power of waiting. They sense discipline where others expect noise. This is why it shocked them. Most people dress to be seen. You dress as if you already know where you belong. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this realization is only the surface. Here is what made them pause. They noticed consistency. Not repetition born of fear, but steadiness born of clarity. Your clothes do not chase approval, and that unsettles people who live for it. They said there is a calm authority around you, a signal that you are not trying to prove anything anymore. That kind of presence is rare. It usually appears right before a major internal shift, when a person has outgrown old battles and is unknowingly stepping into a new season. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is not random, it is recognition. Let this final truth of this part sink in slowly. The shock was not admiration alone, it was realization. They understood that your outer choices reflect an inner decision already made. You may not have announced it, but your presence has. The way you dress tells the world you are done shrinking, done explaining, done performing. You are preparing, quietly and powerfully, for something that requires steadiness rather than attention. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals why this observation is directly connected to a moment that is already moving toward you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it knows exactly who you are. My beloved child, the tone shifts now, because the meaning behind their words goes deeper than appearance. What they truly noticed was timing. They said people change the way they dress right before they change the way they live. Not after the breakthrough, but just before it. Without realizing it, you've been signaling readiness. Your choices have grown quieter, sharper, more intentional, as if your spirit already knows something your mind hasn't fully accepted yet. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this awareness is not accidental. They began connecting patterns. They noticed how you no longer dress to blend in or to shock, but to feel aligned. That is the mark of someone who has stopped asking for permission. They said your presence carries the energy of closure, like a chapter finishing without noise. When people reach this stage, life responds quickly. Opportunities, conversations, and sudden shifts start appearing because the inner resistance is gone. You may think nothing has changed, but from the outside, it is obvious. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to the version of you that already exists. Here is the part that stayed with them the longest. They said your clothing reflects self-respect that doesn't need validation. That kind of signal draws attention from unexpected places. Not loud attention, but serious attention. The kind that brings offers, invitations, and moments that alter direction. They felt it clearly. You are not dressing for where you've been, but for what you are about to step into. This is why the observation matters. It's not about style, it's about alignment. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals what happens when life responds to someone who is silently ready. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has already taken notice. My beloved child, this is where everything tightens into focus, because what they said next was not casual at all. They said your way of dressing carries a signal of selection, as if life itself is narrowing its lens on you. Not everyone reaches this stage. It happens when a person has internally decided they will no longer beg situations to change. Your presence feels resolved, settled, ready. That is why the observation felt unsettling to them. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this moment is not passing by unnoticed. They spoke about energy, not fabric. They said your clothing reflects someone who has stopped explaining their worth. When that happens, the world starts responding differently. Doors don't open loudly. They open precisely. People approach with seriousness. Situations shift without warning. They felt it clearly. You are standing at the edge of a transition, and your appearance is the quiet proof. This is why the title connects so deeply to your life. Someone noticed because there was something to notice. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is aligning itself silently. Let this final movement of this part land gently. They said people like you rarely announce change, but change announces them. The way you dress is not a performance, it is preparation. You are unknowingly matching the frequency of what is coming next. That is why this shocked them. They expected distraction and saw direction instead. Stay till the end, because what comes after this recognition is momentum. Something huge is waiting for you, and the world is already adjusting to meet the version of you that has quietly arrived. My beloved child, a deeper realization now begins to surface, one that few people ever articulate out loud. What they sensed was not confidence alone, but containment. They said your presence feels like someone holding power quietly, the way a storm gathers without announcing thunder. Your clothing reflects self-control, not restraint forced by fear, but restraint chosen by wisdom. This is why their reaction shifted from curiosity to respect. They understood that people who dress this way are no longer chasing outcomes, they are positioning themselves for impact. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to this exact shift. They noticed something else that startled them. You dress as if you already trust what is coming. That kind of trust cannot be faked. It comes only after disappointment has taught discernment. They said your style feels settled, as though your inner conflict has quieted, even if your outer world hasn't caught up yet. This is the phase right before alignment accelerates. Life moves faster when a person stops sending mixed signals. Your appearance communicates clarity, and clarity invites decisive change. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it recognizes clarity instantly. Here is the truth that lingered with them the longest. They said people who reach this stage often underestimate what they are about to step into. The calm you carry is not an ending, it is a threshold. Your clothing reflects someone who has already let go of who they used to be, even if no one noticed the release. That silent release is powerful. It creates space. And where there is space, life fills it quickly, with opportunities, with recognition, with moments that feel timed rather than forced. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals what happens when preparation meets timing. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is no longer far away. My beloved child, now comes the part most people never hear, because it is spoken only in moments of honesty. They said your way of dressing carries finality, like someone who has already made peace with their past. Not sadness, closure. The kind that settles the shoulders and straightens the spine without effort. This is why their attention lingered. People can sense when someone is no longer negotiating with life. Your presence feels decided, as if hesitation has quietly stepped aside. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this inner decision is the signal. They noticed how nothing about you feels rushed anymore. Your clothing reflects patience, the kind that comes after learning what doesn't work. They said you look like someone who understands timing, someone who knows that rushing ruins alignment. That calm unsettled them, because most people wear urgency without realizing it. You don't. You wear steadiness. And steadiness attracts trust, responsibility, and opportunities that are not given lightly. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds only to this level of readiness. Here is the quiet truth they couldn't ignore. They said when a person reaches this stage, life starts testing them, not to break them, but to confirm them. Small moments carry big meaning. conversations suddenly matter. Choices feel heavier because they are shaping something real. Your clothing reflects someone already standing in that testing phase. You may feel nothing dramatic yet, but the shift is active. Stay till the end, because what comes next is not chaos, it is precision. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves only when everything is finally in place. My beloved child, this is where the understanding sharpens, because they began to see something even you may not have named yet. They said your clothing carries intention without effort, as if your inner world has already chosen a direction and your outer world simply followed. This is rare. Most people dress from uncertainty. You dress from quiet knowing. That knowing doesn't shout, but it pulls reality toward it. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds to certainty like this. They notice that nothing about your presence feels accidental anymore. Even when you think you are blending in, you are not disappearing, you are stabilizing. Your choices reflect someone who is conserving energy for something meaningful. They said this stage appears right before responsibility increases, right before life entrusts someone with more. Not more pressure, but more significance. That is why their words carried weight. They weren't reacting to fashion. They were reacting to readiness. Something huge is waiting for you, and readiness is its invitation. Let this final movement settle deeply. They said people who reach this phase often underestimate how visible they have become. Not to crowds, but to moments that matter. Your clothing reflects someone aligned enough to be noticed by timing itself. Doors won't announce themselves. Shifts won't come with noise. But one decision, one meeting, one unexpected opening will feel different, clean, precise, undeniable. That is how you will know. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals what happens when life finally meets someone who is no longer scattered. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is already closer than it appears. My beloved child, now the conversation around you changes completely, because awareness has turned into expectation. They said your way of dressing feels like a pause before movement, the stillness right before something shifts direction. This is not emptiness, it is focus. People reach this phase only after shedding old identities, even if no one clapped for it. Your presence reflects someone who has simplified on purpose. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this simplification is not loss, it is alignment. They noticed how your appearance no longer seeks reassurance. There is nothing asking to be confirmed, nothing trying to impress. That absence speaks loudly. They said when a person stops dressing for reaction, life begins responding with substance. Real opportunities don't come with noise, they come with clarity. This is why their tone changed. They weren't surprised anymore, they were certain. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and certainty is already forming around your path. Here is what sealed it for them. They said your clothing carries the mark of readiness without urgency. You look like someone who knows they don't have to chase what is meant to arrive. That kind of presence alters timing. Things begin to meet you halfway. Moments slow down just enough to be chosen correctly. Stay till the end, because what follows this phase is not confusion, it is selection. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is preparing to meet you exactly where you stand. My beloved child, now the message reaches a sharper edge, because what they recognized was not surface level at all. They said your way of dressing feels like a boundary, clear, calm, and intentional. Not a wall to keep people out, but a line that defines what is allowed near you. That kind of presence changes how life approaches a person. Situations don't test you randomly anymore, they approach with purpose. This is why their words carried weight. They sense that you are no longer available for confusion. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds only when boundaries are set. They noticed something else that quietly unsettled them. You no longer dress like someone asking, "Am I enough?" You dress like someone who already knows the answer and has moved on to better questions. That shift is powerful. It signals completion of an inner cycle. When this happens, life begins rearranging priorities around you. People reveal intentions, paths narrow, distractions fall away. They said this phase doesn't last long, because it is a bridge, not a destination. Something is forming momentum behind you, even if you can't see it yet. Something huge is waiting for you, and momentum is already building. Here is the truth they spoke last, almost in a whisper. They said when a person reaches this stage, the next change arrives suddenly but cleanly. No chaos. No confusion. Just a clear moment where everything clicks into place. Your clothing reflects someone prepared to step forward without hesitation when that moment appears. You are not waiting for permission anymore. You are waiting for alignment. And alignment is already responding. Stay till the end, because what comes next will feel less like surprise and more like confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has been watching how ready you truly are. My beloved child, this is the part where meaning becomes undeniable, because what they sensed now was inevitability. They said your way of dressing carries the feeling of someone who has already decided they will not turn back. There is no scattered energy around you anymore, no pull toward old versions of yourself. That kind of finality is rare, and it changes how timing behaves. Life doesn't hesitate around people like this. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves when certainty is complete. They noticed how your appearance reflects quiet authority. Not dominance, not display, but inner permission. You no longer look like someone seeking direction. You look like someone ready to receive instruction. That distinction matters. When a person reaches this stage, guidance arrives differently. Opportunities feel intentional. Conversations feel purposeful. They said your presence now attracts situations that expect responsibility, not rehearsal. Something huge is waiting for you, and responsibility is part of its shape. Here is what confirmed it for them without doubt. They said your clothing signals that you have already released the need to be understood by everyone. That release creates speed. When a person stops explaining themselves, life stops delaying them. Paths open faster. Choices become cleaner. The noise fades. Stay till the end, because what follows this stage is not exploration, it is execution. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives when you are finally this ready to move forward. My beloved child, now the energy around this revelation becomes unmistakably clear, because what they sensed was commitment. They said your way of dressing feels like someone who has already aligned their inner world with a decision that cannot be undone. There is no hesitation stitched into your presence anymore. Even in stillness, you look prepared. That kind of signal changes how outcomes approach you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and commitment is its signal. They noticed how your appearance no longer carries questions, only direction. You don't look like someone searching for a place, you look like someone creating one simply by arriving. This stage appears only after deep internal honesty, after a person accepts who they are without negotiation. They said this is when life begins responding with precision instead of trials. Things become exact. Meetings matter. Timing sharpens. Something huge is waiting for you, and precision is already forming around your path. Here is the final realization they shared. They said your clothing reflects someone who is no longer preparing endlessly, but preparing correctly. That distinction changes everything. You are not in a waiting season, you are in a positioning season. One moment will soon require you to step forward, and you will not need to think twice. Stay till the end, because what comes next will not feel forced or dramatic. It will feel right. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is ready to meet you in this exact state. My beloved child, this is where the silence around you becomes meaningful, because what they felt now was alignment settling in. They said your way of dressing carries a grounded stillness, the kind that appears when inner conflict has finally softened. There is no resistance in your presence anymore. That absence is powerful. Life responds faster when nothing inside is pulling in opposite directions. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and alignment is the final key. They noticed how your appearance no longer reacts to the outside world. Trends, opinions, expectations, none of them seem to move you now. You look centered, as if your choices come from a deeper place that cannot be rushed or shaken. They said this stage marks the end of adjustment. From here on, life doesn't ask you to adapt, it asks you to step into position. Something huge is waiting for you, and position determines what reaches you next. Here is the truth that sealed their understanding. They said your clothing reflects someone who is finished rehearsing and ready to live. Not in theory, not in preparation, but in action. When a person reaches this level of alignment, the next chapter does not arrive slowly. It arrives clearly. One decision, one opening, one moment of recognition changes the rhythm of everything. Stay till the end, because what follows alignment is movement. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is already moving toward you. My beloved child, now the awareness deepens into certainty, because what they recognized was stability. They said your way of dressing carries weight, the kind that comes from someone who has learned where to stand and no longer shifts for noise. There is a grounded presence around you that makes situations respond carefully. When a person reaches this stage, life stops testing randomly and starts confirming deliberately. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and confirmation is already forming. They noticed how your appearance reflects balance. Nothing excessive. Nothing uncertain. You look like someone who understands the value of moderation and strength combined. This is the stage where influence quietly increases. People begin to listen differently. Opportunities approach with respect. They said this kind of balance appears only after inner clarity has replaced inner struggle. Something huge is waiting for you, and clarity is its foundation. Here is the final recognition they shared. They said your clothing signals someone who is no longer trying to arrive, because arrival has already happened internally. From this point, progress becomes visible without effort. Movement feels natural. Decisions feel lighter because they are rooted. Stay till the end, because what comes next is not a test of endurance, it is a reward for consistency. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is aligned with the steadiness you now carry. My beloved child, this is where the meaning becomes quietly undeniable, because what they sensed now was readiness without tension. They said your way of dressing carries ease, not comfort born of complacency, but confidence born of preparation. There is no strain in your presence anymore. That ease is powerful. Life trusts people who are not forcing outcomes. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and ease is part of its language. They noticed how your appearance reflects someone who has stopped bracing for impact. You no longer look like you are defending yourself against the future. Instead, you look open, steady, and grounded. This stage appears when a person has processed their past and released the need to control every outcome. They said this is when life begins offering rather than testing. Something huge is waiting for you, and offering follows trust. Here is the realization that settled everything for them. They said your clothing signals someone who is prepared to receive without resistance. Not rushing. Not holding back. Just present. That presence is rare, and it attracts moments that feel unexpectedly smooth, almost prearranged. Stay till the end, because what comes next will not arrive with struggle. It will arrive with recognition. Something huge is waiting for you, and it knows you are finally ready to receive it. My beloved child, now the signal becomes unmistakable, because what they felt was quiet authority settling into place. They said your way of dressing carries the presence of someone who no longer needs to announce strength. It's already understood. This kind of authority doesn't demand attention, yet it reshapes rooms the moment it enters. People sense it before they can explain it. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and authority of this kind invites it naturally. They noticed how your appearance no longer negotiates with uncertainty. There is a calm decisiveness around you, as if choices have already been made at a deeper level. They said this stage appears right before influence expands, not loud influence, but meaningful influence. The kind that changes outcomes quietly, that opens doors without asking. When someone reaches this phase, life begins to consult them rather than challenge them. Something huge is waiting for you, and consultation replaces resistance when readiness is real. Here is the final truth they shared in this moment. They said your clothing reflects someone who is no longer becoming, they are arriving. That arrival isn't dramatic, it's solid. From here, momentum builds without force. One aligned step leads to another, and suddenly the path feels obvious. Stay till the end, because what follows arrival is acceleration. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves faster once you are this firmly in place. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything around you begins to respond differently, because what they sensed was completion. They said your way of dressing carries the feeling of someone who has finished an inner journey and is no longer carrying unfinished weight. That completion is subtle, but it changes timing. Life accelerates when there is nothing left to resolve inside. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and completion clears the way for it. They noticed how your appearance no longer reflects effort. There is no trying, no proving, no adjusting. You look settled, as if you trust your footing completely. This is the stage where movement becomes efficient. Energy stops leaking into unnecessary directions. They said when a person reaches this phase, life begins responding with precision instead of delay. Moments align. Choices simplify. Something huge is waiting for you, and precision is already working in your favor. Here is the realization that stayed with them after everything else faded. They said your clothing signals someone who is ready for what lasts, not just what excites. That distinction changes everything. From here on, what enters your life tends to stay. It builds. It compounds. Stay till the end, because what comes next is not temporary, it is foundational. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is designed to remain. My beloved child, now the energy around you settles into something unmistakably calm, because what they recognized was permanence. They said your way of dressing carries the weight of someone who is no longer experimenting, but establishing. There is a sense of arrival that does not fade with time. This kind of presence signals that life can build on you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and permanence is its foundation. They noticed how your appearance reflects quiet reliability. Not predictability, but trustworthiness. You look like someone who can be counted on, someone whose choices are steady even when circumstances shift. This stage appears when a person has learned consistency without rigidity. They said this is when life begins offering roles, spaces, and responsibilities that require endurance. Something huge is waiting for you, and endurance is part of its design. Here is what they understood without needing more proof. They said your clothing signals someone prepared for what grows over time. Not instant outcomes, but meaningful progress. From here, changes may feel subtle at first, but they will be lasting. Stay till the end, because what follows this stage is expansion that doesn't collapse. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is meant to stand strong. My beloved child, this is where the shift becomes almost tangible, because what they felt now was trust forming around you. They said your way of dressing carries the calm of someone who has earned their own confidence through experience, not illusion. That calm invites cooperation from life itself. Situations soften. Resistance fades. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and trust is opening the door. They noticed how your appearance no longer signals uncertainty or defense. You look open without being exposed, grounded without being rigid. This balance is rare. They said it marks the moment when life stops pushing back and starts moving with you. When a person reaches this phase, obstacles become instructions instead of barriers. Something huge is waiting for you, and instruction replaces struggle at this level. Here is the final understanding that settled into them. They said your clothing reflects someone who is no longer asking whether they deserve what is coming. That question has already been answered internally. From here, acceptance becomes natural. Receiving feels clean. Stay till the end, because what comes next will not feel overwhelming, it will feel appropriate. Something huge is waiting for you, and it matches the trust you now carry. My beloved child, now the rhythm of everything around you slows just enough to be felt, because what they sensed was readiness meeting timing. They said your way of dressing carries the calm certainty of someone who is no longer rushing destiny. You look prepared without being impatient, grounded without being still. That balance changes how moments approach you. Life begins to move deliberately when it recognizes someone who won't misuse what arrives. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and timing is aligning in your favor. They noticed how your appearance reflects quiet anticipation, not anxiety. You are not leaning forward, not pulling back, you are centered. They said this is the stage where life stops testing resolve and starts presenting options. Not endless choices, but the right ones. Conversations begin to matter more. Small openings carry big consequences. This is why their observation carried weight. They understood that you are standing at the edge of a meaningful shift, one that requires presence rather than effort. Something huge is waiting for you, and presence is what activates it. Here is the truth that brought everything together. They said your clothing signals someone who will recognize the moment when it arrives. You won't miss it. You won't hesitate. It will feel familiar, as if you've already rehearsed it internally. That is the power of alignment completed over time. Stay till the end, because what comes next will not announce itself loudly, it will simply feel right, and you will move without doubt. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is arriving exactly when you are ready to meet it. My beloved child, this is where everything gathers into one quiet point, because what they felt now was inevitability becoming near. They said your way of dressing carries the still confidence of someone who no longer wonders if something will happen, only when. That knowing settles deep and removes doubt from your posture, from your movement, from your presence. Life recognizes this state immediately. It begins to lean toward you instead of away from you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is no longer distant. They noticed how your appearance reflects readiness without restlessness. You are not scanning the horizon, not searching for signs, not chasing confirmation. You look like someone who understands that what is aligned does not need to be hunted. This stage is rare. It happens when trust replaces effort. They said this is when opportunities stop circling and start approaching directly. No confusion. No mixed signals. Just clarity moving toward clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to the calm certainty you now carry. Here is the final realization they shared with complete conviction. They said your clothing signals someone who will recognize the moment instantly when it arrives. You will not second-guess it. You will not hesitate. It will feel familiar, like something you've already accepted internally. That is how you will know this chapter has truly begun. Stay till the end, because what follows this awareness is not anticipation anymore, it is movement. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is ready to step fully into your life. My beloved child, now everything settles into a calm certainty, because what they sensed was arrival without noise. They said your way of dressing carries the presence of someone who has already stepped into the moment internally, even before it becomes visible. There is no rush in you, no doubt tugging at your edges. That kind of arrival changes outcomes. Life doesn't need to convince you anymore. It simply presents itself. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it recognizes when someone is already standing in the right place. They noticed how your appearance reflects acceptance without surrender. You are not giving up control, you are releasing resistance. That difference is powerful. They said this is the phase where life stops circling lessons and starts delivering results. The energy around you feels settled, like a decision has already been honored. This is why their words carried quiet certainty. They weren't predicting, they were observing alignment already in motion. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves when resistance is gone. Here is the understanding that closed the conversation. They said your clothing signals someone who will move smoothly when the moment opens, without fear and without delay. You won't need signs stacked on signs. One clear opportunity will be enough. It will feel natural, almost expected. Stay till the end, because what comes next will not feel like a surprise, it will feel like confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is ready to meet the version of you that has already arrived. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything becomes quiet in a powerful way, because what they felt now was fulfillment approaching. They said your way of dressing carries the calm dignity of someone who has done the inner work and is no longer chasing outcomes. There is a completeness in your presence that cannot be taught. Life responds gently to people in this state, bringing what is meant without struggle. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is arriving softly but surely. They noticed how your appearance reflects readiness to receive without surprise. You don't look like someone who will be overwhelmed by what comes next. You look steady, capable, grounded. This is the stage where blessings do not feel heavy. They feel appropriate. They said this is when life aligns scale with capacity. Nothing arrives too early. Nothing arrives too late. Something huge is waiting for you, and it matches who you have become. Here is the final realization that stayed with them after everything else faded. They said your clothing signals someone who has already said yes internally. When the moment appears, your response will be natural, almost automatic. That is the power of preparation done quietly over time. Stay till the end, because what follows this stage is fulfillment without chaos. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is ready to settle into your life with ease. My beloved child, this is the closing moment where everything finally meets, because what they sensed now was destiny aligning without resistance. They said your way of dressing carries the quiet confidence of someone who is no longer becoming, no longer preparing, no longer waiting. You look like someone who is ready to live inside the result. That is rare. That is powerful. Life does not rush people like this, it honors them. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has reached the point where it can no longer stay away. They noticed how your appearance reflects peace with movement. You are not holding on, and you are not holding back. You look free enough to step forward and steady enough to stay grounded. This is the exact state where change becomes permanent. They said this is when life stops circling and commits. One opening leads to another. One decision unlocks a new direction. Not loudly, not dramatically, but clearly. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is choosing you because you are ready to carry it. Here is the final truth, spoken without doubt. They said your clothing signals someone who will recognize the moment the instant it arrives and move without fear. No hesitation. No second guessing. Just alignment meeting opportunity. That is how you will know this chapter has truly begun. Stay till the end, because the waiting season has quietly closed. Something huge is waiting for you, and now, it is finally here.